Cultural competence is essential in working in a classroom and being a competent educator. Diversity is expanding more and more every day, uh, even at every school. This includes knowing and understanding social justice terminology. Social justice refers to mutual respect for an individual's beliefs and their perspective in society. Furthermore, being competent is creating an atmosphere within the classroom where social justice is present at the same time, embracing students and educating them. Um, being cultural is competent includes understanding your student's identity and realizing how your biases can affect other students' learning. Um, where do I see myself as cultural competence continuum chart? Well, first of all, there's always room for growth. I find myself at cultural proficiency in the cultural competency continuum chart. I feel that I'm at that spot because of my past experience working with diverse children with disabilities over the past 9 years. In order to be successful with these students, I must identify what their cultural beliefs are, their backgrounds, and being able to understand those in order to teach them. My controversial issue that I chose was sexual orientation. This is a growing issue amongst our youth and them being sexually confused. And understanding and educating this issue is at the most importance because it teaches them to be okay with who they are. And this not going into sexual identity too much, but it opens up to others with respecting their worldviews and their sexual orientation. So I have to respect what they are in as far as their sexual orientation, even if that's not what I agree with necessarily. And it allows room for them to grow because they're not being oppressed. Just one less thing for them to be concerned about, youth. That being said, there's a number of things I can deepen my cultural competence and my ability to effectively teach a diverse classroom. I believe that the more that I work in a classroom, the more cultures I'm exposed to forces me to learn about them and accept them. I say forcing because it's imperative for me to know and understand other cultures so that I don't let my personal biases affect their learning. Gauging on a student's background. One example would be, a personal bias is sometimes I look at wealth and I look at students who come to schools with iPhones and dress very nice, and I come on the assumption that they're ungrateful, that they have everything they need, they have no reason to be sad or unhappy. But that's a bias, and that's untrue. Yeah, you can be in a high place economically and still have a lot of problems. So that's one way my biases kind of get in the way. Some ways to help with diversity in the classroom is it's just important to acknowledge, not necessarily validate their beliefs. Because when you validate their beliefs in front of everyone, then that's showing, hey, my beliefs align with your beliefs. Therefore, I'm invalidating others' beliefs. We have a responsibility as educators to respect all of their beliefs. And so a way that this can be done, a strategy, is the first 10 minutes of a weekend could be used as a free talk time where students take turns and they share what they did over the weekend, because that helps teach other students how everyone's different. People experience the same but different things. I believe as an educator that I am a lifetime learner. Society is changing, so we must keep up with the times And there are always new workshops out there that are teaching about different cultures, how to approach different disabilities. Collaborations with colleagues is an effective way to further cultural competencies and realize what your biases are and how they affect your teaching. Um, Cultural inclusivity in my future classroom will look like everyone feels safe and free to share their personal feelings amongst each other. No student should feel the will to be secluded, and students will feel open to share in the appropriate setting. The last question: how will I ensure that you are respecting an individual's differing personal backgrounds with various skills, abilities, perspectives, talents, and interests that don't align with my spiritual beliefs or moral values? This question pops up a lot. I think that by learning about and listening to other students' different worldviews and perspective on life, that it actually brings me closer to my perspective and my worldviews. It doesn't dilute them. It allows me to really acknowledge that that's how I feel, or I feel really strongly against that way of believing, and I can be respectful and just listen to their beliefs. But I truly believe that I learn more from the students than they learn from me every year. With every student, they have just so much to teach, just how they view the world. And that about wraps it up.